Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 7 in college football, and right now we have a special situation. As you know, Joe Duffy takes whatever games I ask him to take, and sometimes those games are games where he doesn't have a strong opinion. Sometimes he does. Sometimes those actually wind up being some of his 4-pay picks on his site that he gives to us for free anyway. This week, though, I asked him to take USC, Arizona, and he declined. He said, I can't cover that game because why? It's his game of the year, not just a premium pick or a wise guy pick or whatever. Game of the year. So we're going to talk to him about a little bit about his site right now and his handicapping in general. We're not going to be able to give a pick or hint at which side he likes, but if you want to get the pick, you can go to his site and sign up and get it there. But we are going to discuss the game right now. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Thanks for being back with us.
No, thank you, Peter.
All right, Joe, USC Arizona, game of the year. First of all, my thought is, how can any Pac-12 game be a game of the year with like Oregon losing outright and like all the wacky results and the huge favorites going down and the games with the totals in the 80s going 30 points under and everything? Why did you choose a Pac-12 game for your game of the year?
Well, I didn't really choose the Pac-12 game. It chose me.
Right.
To be honest with you, in many respects, you sort of answered your own question. Remember what I've said quite a few times, and I said this especially back in the preseason when I talked about why preseason is good for Sharpies. And look, the proof was in the pudding, where I won both here and on my site, where I said uncertainty is really the enemy of both the odds maker and of the public, but it is the friend of the sharp player. But yeah, people have been with me for years and years, could probably guess what my pick is, because a lot of the metrics that we won with over the years certainly applies in this game. But basically that a lot of the metrics, including in my 26 years, I have 20 winners, 5 losers, and 1 push on my game of the year, going back to my score phone days,
Wow.
900 number score phone days. And some of these metrics have applied on quite a few of those.
20-5 in your games of the years. That's an impressive record. But actually, this brings me to another point that I want to discuss here when it comes to like high percentage plays, games of the years, things like that. There's still no locks. So even if this is an 80% proposition, you still don't want to bet. Don't want to go too crazy with it. And every week we see outlier examples where some team that was a 3-point underdog winds up winning by 20 points. And if you'd had the other team plus 17, if someone had offered you that at kickoff, obviously you would have taken it pretty big, as you should have, but you would have lost. That's exactly why you don't go all in on anything. And so even with a game of the year, this is still money management applies, right?
No, you are 100% correct. In fact, I even tell people that they should bet this as a wise guy play. Every now and then I get people say, hey, could you send me your true locks? And I'm like, well, I truly don't have locks. If anyone who tells you they do have a lock. But from a money management standpoint, no, you should. I will tell you flat out, if you're going to buy my pick thinking you should be betting the mortgage, then no. In that case, I don't want your money, and I'm being serious. It's
Right.
very rare I'm going to tell a client I don't want their money, but if that is your expectations, no. There's scam decappers out there that'll tell you that they've got a game that absolutely cannot lose, and they get inside information. That's not how I roll. But no, this is truly a game where as many metrics point towards one side as you're going to see.
So going back to this game, I could see someone looking at this game and handicapping it and saying, USC has 2 losses, right? They're off their 2nd loss of the year. They went into BC and actually lost, and you actually picked BC in that one, which was a great pick. Yeah. But if the line had been Pick'em, I don't think your pick would have been BC, right? But they did go into BC and they lost, and then Arizona off a great win over Oregon. That's awesome, but they also only beat Nevada by 7 and UTSA by 3. So those are 2, very seriously mediocre results there for Arizona. So most people will be wondering, which version of each team is going to show up. They see Arizona off 2 extra rest days. Maybe that matters. When you start analyzing a game like this and you're trying to answer the question, which version of each team is going to show up, how do you go about it?
Well, one of the things I like to do, remember, I've also said over the years that probably the most overrated statistic when it comes to handicapping spreads is looking at straight up results, because straight up results it can be very overrated. And I do go back and look to see, was there a situation, did this team lose or did this other team win? Maybe because it was a good situation or a bad situation. Did this team win and play poorly in a game which they should have blown somebody out? So you got to look well beyond the scores, and really, especially that one-loss record. Like I said, one of my great angles is that straight up in ATS, what I call the dichotomous straight up and ATS teams. When a team has a great straight up record and a bad spread record or vice versa, and that really exploits that truth about how overrated straight-up record is when it comes to handicapping.
Well, suffice to say, Joe Duffy takes any game I ask him to take. He always gives us a pick and a thorough analysis, except for once in a while when it's a special case like this. Joe Duffy, Game of the Year, USC, Arizona. If you want to know the pick, hey, go for it and go to his website, sign up. If you want to not, and wait to find out what it was afterwards, I'm sure we will report it next week. Thanks so much, Joe Duffy. Talk to you again very soon.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.